Hello. So this week I'm talking more about the Lyme disease issue that I started last week, and I'm going to talk about a natural protocol for Lyme disease that I've developed over the years. And this is an exciting topic for me to share because you guys might have been seeing all the news about Lyme disease lately. It's growing at almost 300,000 new cases a year in the United States, as reported by the Centers of Disease Control. So right now, people are looking for natural treatment options for Lyme disease more than ever, and I'm going to go over my natural protocol approach to Lyme disease in this video and in more detail in the written blog post. So if you're watching the video, then follow the link and read the entire blog post. Last week, I talked about the diagnosis process and the misdiagnosis and how long it took to actually get the proper diagnosis given to me so that I could treat the disease properly. And then this week, I'm talking about the protocol that I've developed. And then next week, I'm going to talk about the nutrition aspect to that protocol in more detail. So I'm going to jump right in and tell you guys about the 5-step approach that I have to Lyme disease. And I'm going to start with the mindset, which is not the most effective step in this process, but it is probably one of the most important, especially to begin with. So, whenever you're dealing with a chronic illness, because it goes on and on and on, we tend to feel like we need to continue with our normal life as we're dealing with this. And it's true, we need to carry on because chronic illness by nature, it is a daily struggle for years and years. But you need to do the best that you can to take an approach of or a mindset of healing. You need to think of your body as being very sick, and you need to treat yourself as such. So by this I mean, wear warm clothes, drink hot tea, eat soup, and take care of yourself. Don't overextend yourself. Get a lot of rest. Sleep in if you have to. Go to bed early if you have to, and give yourself a break because your body's going through a lot. And same thing that you would do for yourself if you had the flu, you would give your body a break. So you have chronic illness and you need to do the same thing as much as you can and put yourself into the mindset of your body is sick and you're going to do what you can to get better. Only you can take care of yourself the way that you need to be taken care of. So if you can just remember that as we go through the next steps. The next step is number 2, which is the nutrition piece. And I have a whole nutrition protocol for Lyme disease now, and it is broken down into 3 steps. The first step being you need to remove all the foods from your diet that are actually suppressing your immune system and weakening your body so that you can begin to allow your immune system to function as it should and fight off the infection. Step 2 in that nutrition protocol is to add foods that are going to actually build up your immunity and give you more strength and stamina, and also going to actually act as antivirals and antibacterials. So a lot of medicinal foods will help fight the actual infection alongside your body. The third step is to customize that diet for any additional health challenges you might be dealing with, including blood pressure or cancer or diabetes. So that's the nutrition piece, and I would say that it got me, and it's gotten a lot of clients about 50% better. So anything that is that effective is really important and critical to implement, especially because changing your diet is so budget friendly compared to the other treatments for Lyme disease. So that's number 2. Number 3 is to then move on to the antibacterials, antivirals, and antifungals so that you can support your body and assist it with killing off those infections. And a lot of people will go towards antibiotics. That's fine if that's your choice. If you choose to go the natural route, as you are aware, there are a lot of side effects and possible negative outcomes of going with prescription antibiotics. So if you choose the natural route, then you're going to come into the realm of herbal antibiotics. And there's a couple of protocols that I've followed, which would be the Cowden protocol, the Booner protocol, and I've also done teasel root and neem oil. And I've rotated those 4 over the last 2 years, and those pulled me up to about 75% better. So 3 years ago, I was applying for disability, and now I am almost at about 100% better. So I'm going to talk about the last step that got me there. But the herbal antibiotics, antivirals, and antifungals got me to that 75% mark. And I was really able to get back into my career and work a lot harder and be more self-sufficient. So that's the antibiotic, the natural approach to that aspect of Lyme healing. And I go into more detail again in the blog post below. So step 4 would be to then consider heavy metal chelation. Now, this topic is a big one, and I'm going to write an entire blog post on it. So if you follow my posts, you will get that information within the next 2 months. But right now I'm going to do a quick overview. Lead, mercury, aluminum, and cadmium are the heavy metals that are most affecting humans right now. They're prevalent in our daily lives, including in our water supply. The EPA website actually has published that over 30% of Americans' tap water is contaminated with higher than the legal health limits of lead. And that's really disturbing to consider. Most people, even if they're not drinking their tap water, they're bathing in it, and our skin absorbs those toxins from our water. So 30% of Americans are exposed to lead. We've also gotten exposure to heavy metals through the air that we're breathing from pollution, and we're getting it through a lot of our products, including skincare, cosmetics. We've also got the lead paint was an issue for a while that a lot of us are still dealing with the health effects of that, including leaded gasoline and lead in pencils, lead in a lot of products before we were aware of the health consequences. So it's in our environment and it's affecting us. They act as free radicals, they block our hormone receptors, and they block our detox pathways in our body. So it's going to be an effect on your body. If you're dealing with chronic illness, you have to consider that heavy metals are contributing to it, and the only safe way to detox is through frequent low-dose chelation. Now, I want to keep this video somewhat short, so I'm not going to actually go through and talk about the details of chelation right now. That's going to come in the next blog post, so stay tuned, sign up for the newsletter so that you'll get notified when I send that out. But basically, intravenous chelation is a really dangerous way to go, and frequent low-dose oral chelation is really the safest bet for us at this point, and it's the most effective, more so than even doing chlorella or spirulina or cilantro. It's those methods are not effective whatsoever. So the oral chelation with a man-made antioxidant is what I've been doing. And it's taken about 2 years, but I started noticing a significant improvement, reduction in my inflammation and autoimmune symptoms as I chelated those heavy metals out of my body. And so I would say that that is what has brought me now to about 90–95% free of symptoms. And I'm actually sometimes forgetting to take my medication. I'm on, just to give you perspective, because I was diagnosed with autoimmune disease, I was put onto methotrexate, Plaquenil, prednisone, about 60 milligrams a day, and about 1,600 milligrams of ibuprofen a day, all 4 of those medications at the same time. And in the last 3 years, I've been able to reduce that medication to now 10 milligrams of prednisone a day, which I'm forgetting to take quite often, which probably is not the healthiest thing to forget. But I'm telling you all this because I think it's important to see how much I've improved, and I like to put myself as a case example of what's possible. And so now I'm working on getting off that last bit, and I'm really excited. Hopefully by this summer I'll be 100% free of medication for the first time in almost 15–17 years. So I'm very happy about that. So heavy metal chelation was step number 4. And step number 5 is to go back and look at your lifestyle and where you're getting toxins into your life, including in your home care, your skin care, your food. And so you want to go back and make sure you're cleaning up any GMOs or any pesticides out of your diet. You want to move away from the aluminum cookware, the plastic cookware. You want to get non-toxic skincare, and you want to meditate, move, exercise, and start implementing all of those healthy lifestyle habits that you haven't had a chance to yet because you were so sick. So that's the overview of everything. Read the details in the blog post below, and please leave questions. If you have anything that you want to ask me, I will try to answer, or I will find someone to refer you to. And stay tuned for next week. I'm going to talk about the chronic Lyme nutrition protocol in more detail, and hopefully that'll give you guys a better sense of what you should be eating. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Have a wonderful day.